Hello, everyone. It is a genuine pleasure to sit down with you today for this deep dive sharing session. Welcome to Empower Fen-tastic Life. Find your power, live without limits. Today, we are opening up a playbook that transforms something we literally do every single day, communication, into a masterable, highly strategic art form. We are drawing insights from a brilliant framework called scenario-based communication, the art of 360-degree barrier-free communication. If you've ever felt misunderstood or maybe walked away from a conversation wishing you'd said something just a little bit differently, well, this explainer is designed exactly for you. Here is the quick roadmap for our session today. Section 1, the communication talent myth. Section 2, 3 rules of core logic. Section 3, the workplace and business playbook. Section 4, navigating social and family. And finally, Section 5, your deliberate practice plan. We are going to systematically dismantle the mystery of communication, step by step. All right, starting with Section 1. The communication talent myth, from genetic lottery to replicable skill. Okay, let's dive right into this. For a long time, society has kind of sold us this paralyzing myth. We look at those people who can just effortlessly command a room or navigate a conflict perfectly, and we assume they just won the genetic lottery, right? That they're natural-born, smooth talkers. And the thinking goes, if you don't have that innate ability, you are just out of luck. Well, actually, scratch that. The scientific reality is completely different. Great communication is not magic. It is a highly structured, replicable, modular, and learnable skill. It's literally a technology you can acquire. Anyone, absolutely anyone, can master this.
And that brings us to Section 2, 3 rules of core logic, the foundation of every interaction.
To really master this technology, we need a core underlying logic. So here is the high-level 3-step roadmap that governs all effective interactions. Step 1. Anticipate scenarios. Step 2, de-emotionalize. And Step 3, standardize responses. Let's break down exactly what these look like in our everyday lives. Let's zoom in on Step 1 first, anticipating scenarios. What this basically means is doing your strategic homework before you even open your mouth. It involves identifying the other person's hidden needs, figuring out their personality, and really reading the situational atmosphere. You simply can't walk into every room with the exact same script and expect it to work. You've got to adjust your strategy to the specific scenario right in front of you. Think of it like this. You wouldn't wear a swimsuit in a snowstorm, right? You have to check the weather app of your conversation before you choose your words. So if your boss is serious about a missed deadline, the conversational weather is a thunderstorm. You need an umbrella and solid shelter, which means clear accountability and a really fast solution. But if a close friend is feeling down, the weather is cold and fragile. In that case, you need the warm sweater of empathy and active listening. Always assess the weather first. Now, once you've assessed the scenario, we move to the second rule, de-emotionalization. Don't worry, this doesn't mean becoming a robot. It just means stripping away the destructive heat of the moment so you can return to the pure essence of problem solving. When we let our egos, our pride, or just a sudden burst of anger take over, the whole dialogue derails, the objective gets totally lost, and worst of all, the relationship gets damaged. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. Treat a heated argument like fixing a leaking pipe. If a pipe bursts in your kitchen, yelling at the pipe with a megaphone isn't going to stop the water, is it? It just creates a ton of noise. What you actually need is a wrench. De-emotionalizing means actively choosing to put down the megaphone of your anger and picking up the wrench of practical problem solving to stop the leak. Moving on to the third rule, which is standardized responses. I love this one because it's incredibly liberating. It means you don't actually have to invent the perfect thing to say from scratch every single time you face a difficult situation. Instead, you can use direct, proven templates for those common, high-difficulty conversations we all inevitably face in life and work. It is exactly like baking a cake. If you just grab flour, sugar, and eggs, throw them all in a bowl and guess the measurements, you might end up with a complete disaster. But if you rely on a proven recipe, you get a beautiful cake every single time. Standardized responses are essentially your communication recipes. They guarantee a great result because the formula has already been tested and perfected for you. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds into real-world application, the workplace and business playbook, navigating professional terrain. Our playbook gives us a complete 360-degree toolkit. It's divided into 4 main modules: workplace, social, business, and intimate. For now, we're going to zoom in on the workplace and business modules, because this is where communication often translates directly to your career success and your daily efficiency. Let's look at a concept called upward management. Now, in the corporate world, this can sound like complex jargon, but let's demystify it right now. Upward management is, very simply, the art of helping your boss help you. It means precisely reporting your progress and, more importantly, effectively requesting their support when you hit a roadblock. Communicating with a manager is a lot like typing an address into a GPS. You can't just sit in the passenger seat, look at the driver, and vaguely say, "Drive." They're not going to know where to go. You must give your boss the exact destination and the route you need. So don't just say, "I'm overwhelmed." Say, "I have 3 priority projects right now, and I need your approval to push Project C to next week so I can deliver A and B perfectly." You are giving the GPS exact coordinates. When we step over into the business module, the core strategy is aligning interests. Negotiation really isn't about defeating the other person. It's actually the art of finding exactly where your desires and their advantages overlap. It's about tying what you want directly to what benefits them. That naturally creates a win-win scenario.
Think of it this way. Negotiation is building a bridge from both sides to meet in the middle. But you can only meet in the middle if both sides clearly see the value in connecting. If you're asking for a budget increase, you don't just talk about why your department needs more money. Instead, you build that bridge by showing how that money will increase overall company revenue, because that is exactly what the decision maker cares about.
Now, on to Section 4, navigating social and family, bringing the playbook home. Because honestly, these skills aren't just for the boardroom. They are truly 360-degree. Let's talk about the intimate module, which might honestly be the most delicate one of all. The focus here is constructive feedback. I mean, how many times have we tried to help a partner or a family member with really good advice, only for it to turn into a massive argument? The key here is learning how to advise your loved ones without accidentally triggering their automatic psychological defenses. I want you to think about it like this. Adjust a relationship's thermostat gently. Don't smash it with a hammer. If the room is slightly too cold, you just nudge the dial up a degree or two, right? You don't rip the entire machine off the wall. When you're giving feedback at home, making small, gentle adjustments in your phrasing, like focusing on "I feel" rather than "you always," completely prevents the emotional system from overheating. And right alongside feedback is deep listening. True listening in intimate relationships isn't just about processing the audio. It's about deciphering the emotional subtext beneath the actual words. When a loved one complains about a long day, they rarely want a logical, step-by-step solution. The hidden request is usually just a need for validation and comfort. Just hearing that hidden request changes absolutely everything. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, your deliberate practice plan, from theory to reality. Because, as we know, knowledge is only potential power until it's actually applied. So, here is your highly actionable, zero-jargon implementation plan. First, treat these tools exactly like a dictionary through search-based reading. Don't feel overwhelmed trying to memorize the whole thing. Just look up the specific scenario you are facing today. Second, focus only on your current communication hurdles. Third, take those standard recipe formulas we talked about earlier and just tweak them a bit so they sound natural in your own authentic voice. And fourth, practice deliberately in low-stakes, everyday scenarios. Try these techniques out on your local barista or a really friendly colleague before you try using them in a high-stakes salary negotiation. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to really reflect on today. Which conversation weather did you misjudge this week? And how will you change your strategic outfit next time? Think about that leaking pipe, think about that GPS, and start applying this playbook today. You've been listening to Empower Fantastic Life, Jaeger Empowerment Academy. See you next time. Bye-bye.